Some players believe the high, spinny loop is the most practical shot for amateurs. But the modern high spin loop is not like the old school method of sending the ball high and slow. You can't play like that in the modern game. With the poly ball, there's less spin, and your opponent will just flat hit your slow loop for a winner. So, as an amateur, don't think of the spinny loop and the power loop as two completely separate techniques. What you must practice now is driving forward into the ball, no matter how heavy the backspin is. Players often ask me why they keep hitting the net and if they should start with a high loop. The high spin loop we teach today is not the traditional version. You can't just lift the ball upwards. At most, it means adding more brush to the ball as you move forward into the shot, and that's it. The real reasons you're hitting the net are often because you're getting jammed by the ball, or you're only brushing upwards, which results in insufficient forward momentum. Let me show you an example. Look at how much backspin is on this ball. So, why can I loop such a heavy backspin ball so easily? If you try to just brush up hard, the weaker your contact, the more likely the ball will dive into the net. You have to drive forward into it. You must overcome this mental block. Next time, try this, use a little wrist snap, contact the ball earlier, and just push forward. You won't hit the net. You're hitting the net because you're jamming yourself. The opponent's spin makes you back up. Your swing goes purely vertical, and your contact becomes weak and hesitant. In reality, no matter the spin, a firm forward push with your fingers and wrist will lift the ball over the net. Take the backhand, for example. Against a deep ball, we tend to back away and lift upwards. Instead, just stand your ground. You don't even need to bend your knees that much, just execute the stroke. The more the opponent tries to jam you, the easier it is for me to loop. I see this in training all the time. Players think they need a big backswing to generate power, but without it, their contact is weak. Relying on a big backswing leads to slow reaction time, poor timing, and an inability to properly sync up with the ball. You can have a backswing, but it must be compact and close to your body. If you don't take a backswing, keep your racket near the edge of the table and focus on late-stage acceleration. This method produces high-quality shots and is very suitable for amateurs. Your current problem is a weak brushing contact because you're afraid to move into the ball. Instead, you retreat and lift. This soft brushing contact makes it very difficult to loop a backspin ball, especially when your opponent adds psychological pressure by stomping their foot or giving you an intimidating look. So, you must meet the ball forward and use the energy from the incoming backspin. Once you learn to synchronize with the ball's force, the loop becomes easy. If you can't, it will always be difficult. Let's break it down. First, on the forehand side against a heavy chop or backspin, the old habit is to step back. Don't do that. The more you retreat, the less effectively you can use the ball's energy. The modern technique is a parallel, sideways backswing, and then you drive forward into the ball. The more you give ground, the more your opponent will jam you. The backswing is parallel to your side. If you feel rushed, make that initial backswing faster. Let me demonstrate. Even against a very fast ball, you can handle it by making your backswing quicker. On the topic of the backswing, here's a common amateur mistake. They wait for the ball to bounce and their feet to be set before starting the backswing. For all professional strokes, side step, middle, or wide forehand, the footwork and backswing happen simultaneously. You can't wait for the ball to land to start your backswing. There's simply no time. Your feet and racket must prepare at the same time. This way, even the fastest shots are manageable. Let me show you a proper demonstration. The backswing is very quick and happens in perfect sync with my footwork. The rule is, before you hit the ball, your feet must be in position and your racket must be ready. If you prepare correctly, the result of your shot will naturally be good. If you move your arm first and then your feet, your movements will be disjointed. For example, moving your feet only after you've finished a push will make you half a step slow on every ball, leading to weak, defensive shots. Second point, the problem of swinging only upwards. This is a difficulty you're creating for yourself. Why do we drive forward? To connect with the force of the incoming ball. If you get low and watch, you'll see a backspin ball's trajectory is coming right at you. It's not just dropping from the ceiling. The initial part of your stroke creates the arc to clear the net. Once that's done, the rest of your swing must go forward. If you continue lifting after clearing the net, your contact will be too thin and you'll lose grip on the ball. See? Like that, the ball slips. In slow motion, your arc has already cleared the net's height. If you keep lifting, the ball loses its forward drive and dies. Whether it's backspin or topspin, your stroke must have a forward driving component. Your loop needs that engagement. Without that forward drive, it's ineffective. Watch my hip. As my hip drives forward, my arm generates power. Once the first part of your contact neutralizes the spin, the rest of the stroke should be executed as if you were looping a topspin ball. Don't finish the loop by continuously lifting upwards. The more you do this, the more you'll make errors. This shows a lack of separation between your upper and lower arm. After the brushing contact, you're still just lifting your arm. The correct sequence is, use your fingers and wrist to lift the ball, then drive your forearm forward, and finish the swing upwards. Look, on my forehand side, I drive forward. From the middle, I drive forward. When I step around, the forward drive is even more crucial because the distance to the target is longer. If you don't drive forward against backspin, you can practice for a lifetime, but you'll hit the net as soon as you're moved around in a match, and you'll never generate real quality. You'll end up just swinging with your whole arm and producing a slow, loopy ball. So, this driving forward action in our loop is absolutely essential. So where does this drive come from? After lifting the ball, your hip drives your upper arm and forearm forward. Watch, my elbow stays stable. First, I use my fingers and wrist to brush the ball up. Then, my hip drives my arm forward to meet the ball. See how it's the hip that leads the upper arm and forearm in that forward drive? The hip drives the upper arm and forearm forward, and I haven't even added the final forearm snap yet. You must be brave enough to confront backspin head-on. Dare to meet and drive through the ball. If you miss, then we can analyze your brushing, your balance, your timing, or your synchronization. But the intention to drive forward must always be there. Now let's talk about weak contact. Many of you feel your hand go soft at the moment you touch the ball. Here's how to fix it. Go practice this drill with a robot or a partner feeding multiball. Do it without a backswing. The point is to not rely on the backswing for power, but to use the energy of the incoming ball. For this drill, stand closer to the ball. If you stand close but your contact is soft, it won't work, because you have no momentum from a backswing. Exactly. So stand closer to the ball and make the contact explosive and decisive. Otherwise the ball won't go over. Don't take a backswing. Don't use that momentum. Get close, engage the ball firmly with friction. After making solid, brushing contact, add that forearm snap. Amateurs must do multiball training. Without it, improvement is very slow, especially for looping backspin and for transition play. If you don't have a robot, ask a partner to feed you multiball. If you can't do that, have them consistently push balls to you. Practice this way. Stay close to the ball, drive into it, and then snap your forearm after the brushing contact. Just drill this motion. Train your ability to accelerate through the ball. Then, you can start adding a backswing based on the situation. You won't have that weak contact anymore and you'll be able to synchronize your power. Your old habit was to rely on a big backswing. But then your contact at the crucial moment was soft. From now on, start closer to the ball. Make solid contact, then brush. Make it solid, brush, and snap the forearm. For example, after your serve, if the return is fast, use this compact, no backswing loop. If you have more time, then take a full backswing and attack it with power. This gives you the ability to adjust your shot. The key is to keep your racket closer to the ball and rely on accelerating through the contact point to generate quality. Then, when you have an opportunity, you can take a bigger backswing to generate maximum power. The drill is drive, snap. Rotate, drive, snap. If you have time, it's legs and rotation for a powerful shot. Look, my left hand is at a beginner's level, but if I listen to the coach and do what's taught, I can still produce good quality shots. But you really have to do multiball training. One basket of multiball is equivalent to an hour of single ball practice.